do the wacky waving. It's like we're doing a magic trick or something. You know what that magic trick is? It's called grabbing people's attention on social media. Yeah. Hey, and I know you guys are wondering why we always do that at the beginning of the show. You ever been on your thing going like that, and you're like, oh, what are these wacky people doing? Let me see what they're doing. Well, what are we doing, Adrian?
We are doing our Aloha Friday Live with one of our favorite people,
Yeah.
Dita Holifield. As you can
Hi.
see on the screen below, she's a general manager of Salem Media of Hawaii, amongst many other things. And we're going to be touching on all of them just in
Yep.
the next 20 minutes.
Okay. All righty. So, first of all, okay, Dita, so you're the general manager of Salem Media of Hawaii. And tell us that story. How did that come about?
Well, the Salem Media Group is part of the largest Christian broadcasting company in the nation. Nationwide, we have over 117 radio stations, pretty much all conservative and Christian content. In Hawaii, we have 9 radio stations, and we have all kinds of really super great formats, including Country 97.5, Decades 107.9, which is a classic hits format. We have 95.5 The Fish, which is positive music. We have a conservative news talk station. We have a new sports station. And we also have a Christian Korean radio format. So we're so blessed to be able to try to bring great entertainment, information, and positive feelings every single day on the airways in the radio business.
So much diversity. Sounds like there's a little something for everybody.
Well, we try to, when you have 9 radio stations, you want to try to pick things that's not going to overlap each other. So it's fun. It was fun to say, okay, let's find some content for people that are 18 to 34. Let's find content that resonates with women 25-54. Let's do some classic music for people like myself that love some of the old hits. So it's been a really great journey to try to come up with 9 different formats, something for everybody and something for our clients too.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about country. Now, is it country or is it country? But anyway.
Well, it's definitely country.
What's interesting too is that I'm surprised, of how many local people like country music. And
so
yeah.
If you look at the cosmetic of the musicianship, the type of instrumentation, the chord progressions, and then just country music is the story of your life. That's what Hawaiian music is all about. That's what local music is all about. So, and then if you really know the history of country lifestyle in the state, the Paneolos were actually the first cowboys in the whole United States. So we have a rich heritage of country music and a country lifestyle to go together.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of overlap in old style Hawaiian music, the steel guitar, things like that. So a lot of overlapping in our cultures. And like you said, that country lifestyle, Hawaii, Hawaii was Hawaiians. We were the original country folk.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Native. But all right, so you're on Country 97.5, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Adrian, did you have a question for Dita about her show, Country Radio? What do you got? What do we expect to hear when we tune in?
Well, Country 97.5, we're not trying to solve the world problems, and we're definitely not necessarily a place for a serious news source. We just try to have fun. It's all about the music. My partner and I, T.S. Benz, is called The Royal Ride, where you are treated like royalty every morning with the Queen of Country, Dita Holifield, and the Hillbilly Princess. And we just talk about country stuff. We have a segment called Country Girl Problems. We have Dita's Double Shot, which is 2 country artists back to back, and you guess every morning who that artist is. And then we tell the country news all about what the behind the scenes album and the making of the music, from everything to who's getting married, who's having a baby, who's going on tour, all of the fun stuff. If you're a country fan, you can tune in every morning and get everything you need to make and fill your bucket.
That's
So,
nice.
so speaking of country news, now we had you on the radio show, and you had mentioned the possibility of your Waimanalo rodeo taking place, maybe
Yeah,
like
thank
November. So
you. I know. We're
let's
so
talk about that.
excited. I
Yeah.
think that we can figure it out. This will be my 8th year. I'm committed to doing 10 years for sure. It's been a great journey, and it's just the most wonderful event that ever lived. It's for all ages. I know both you guys have been and attended. It's fun, exciting. It's so great for the kids. Some of the kids in the islands have never even been up close and personal to cows and horses and goats and sheeps. We have a petting zoo, and then to see the keiki, the little kids on the big horses, and just the competition and the lifestyle that so many of the people on the islands enjoy. The outer island cowboys, they also compete to win, to come over and compete with us. We have the buckos, we have prize money. We give away over $20,000 in prize money over the 4 shows. It's just a spectacular event, and it's an honor just to get to be a part of it and to perpetuate the culture like we can.
Now there's some more country news that was brought to my attention yesterday, and I had messaged you on Facebook about it. So I guess out in Turtle Bay, there's going to be a country music performance that weekend of September 4th.
Thanks so much.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's Sand and Bands. It's actually a national tour. They're coming to Hawaii. It features Love and Theft and Jared Neiman, and hopefully me too. We're working on that part of it, but it's going to be it's going to be on the beach. It's called Sand and Bands, and they do just that. They go and find places that are beach oriented. It'll be a very cool setting with the water behind, and it's going to be a chill kind of, more of acoustic driven kind of show, storytelling, and just getting to know each other. And we haven't had any concerts since Old Dominion came last January 2019 at the Blaisdell. So we are raring to go.
And Tilio, we can't hear you. We still can't. Can you hear him, Dita?
I was bringing the site, but where can people get tickets? Because I know from pandemic that when things open up, they're getting packed and they're getting slammed. Where can people get tickets?
Well, actually, you can keep listening to Country 97.5 for more information, but you can definitely go to 975country.com for ticket information.
That's a good one. And I want to get back to the rodeo because I wanted to make a very important announcement. You guys have been credited with the coming up with a mashup of the Polynesian yell and mashing it up with the hillbilly yell. So in the mainland, you guys say yeehaw, and then in Hawaii we say chee-hoo. So at the rodeo, everybody is actually required to say chee-ha.
I'm gonna let you lead that. I'm gonna put you in the middle of the arena. And I'll let you kick off the big rodeo.
Yeah, we'll be like, okay, I need all the Polynesians on this side, and then all the other people on this side, and you say, give me a chi, and you give me a ha. Together, we put it together.
I love it. One of the neat things one of my bucket dreams, I love the Pa'u riders. Being from Texas, we didn't have anything like that growing up. And it was such a privilege to host all of them on the last rodeo 2019. And such special people, such beautiful women representing the islands, and all their assistants came out, and just what a dedicated group of people, and the sweetest people that ever lived. It was such a bucket list for me to have them come out in the grand entrance and be such a big part of the processional. And one of the things that I tell everybody on the mainland about our rodeo, we're the only rodeo. If you sit at the top of the grandstands in Waimanalo at Newtown Country Stables, you can see the ocean. You can see billows. It's the only rodeo in the world that you can attend and see the ocean in the background. So it makes it
Nice.
even more special.
Nice.
Mhm.
So
So the dates we're looking at is probably sometime in November, right, for the rodeo. So this
Yes.
year.
Yeah, we're looking at the weekend before Thanksgiving and the weekend of Thanksgiving. We're kind of working out some details. We still have to present our social distancing plan to the mayor's office, but Rick Blangiardi is such a proponent of, getting us all back out there, and he believes in, community spirit. So he's already given his blessing. We're just going to have to kind of get it passed, the protocols, so that when we do open, everyone is safe and everyone feels confident about being able to attend the event.
That's very, very exciting news.
Thanks.
Now, yeah, and we'll continue to keep everyone posted, and maybe we'll have you back on right before the rodeo and just give one big push.
One big chee-haw.
A chee-haw.
I might be able to sell some shirts. Attilio, make some side dollars on that idea. It's a good one.
There you go. See, there's that entrepreneur in you, Dita.
Yep.
And Attilio, we don't have your sound again. I don't know if you can hear us, but we can't.
Courteous and putting myself on mute and doing and getting other stuff here. Because I'm the producer as well as on air talent. So so we got the radio, the rodeo, we got the Queen of Country Music. Again, I like the story that we talked about on the radio. Tell us again about, I'll mention it again. A lot of business industries are mostly led by male leadership, and it's far and few between, and we need more of female leadership. I personally think we need a female president to get this thing all squared away, and get some ladies up in the White House to get that all squared away. But how did you get to the top spot over here at Salem in a male-dominated industry?
That's such a great question. Thank you. I hope that what we talk about today can inspire the next generation, or anybody out there that's a female that really wants to get in any kind of business. Your partner is a very strong, talented, brilliant female. So you know all about what it's like to go down the road every day with that. But a lot of companies are still, it's shocking, but they're not actually giving women opportunities. And I love that about Salem. When I started, we have 117 radio stations, yet there were only 4 women GMs, and it's still a smaller percent. I actually started out as an on-air talent on Country 97.5. I never sold radio. I never worked in a corporate setting. So it was a really, it was a unique experience. And I don't know if I got the best training, but I got great opportunities. And I really did a lot for myself. I took a lot of classes. I read a lot of books about sales and radio. And I looked for a lot of mentors. And, they're now in the media industry, and this has just happened over the last couple of years, is that my girlfriend, Christina, she is the GM at KHON2. My girlfriend, Katie, is the GM at Hawaii News Now for both of those stations. And then nice. I'm a radio GM. And so I'm really proud of the progress that we've seen in the industry, in the media business. My girlfriend, Ann Lee, she's a big wig over at the Star Advertiser. So media is a great place for women to move up and to excel. But props to Salem Media for really taking a chance on me and investing a lot in my future.
That means that brought to the thought that maybe we should host something where all of you guys come together on a panel and you can share your wisdom with, maybe what was that thing you went to, Adrian, for the Wahines?
Yeah, it was the Wahine Forum that they have every year. Yeah. So you're getting ready to celebrate an anniversary, right? How many years have you been with Salem? It's like,
so I just made, this is so cool, I just made 15 years, and I've been the GM for, I think I've been 6, and I'm just so happy and proud. I mean, coming out of the pandemic, everyone worries, are we going to make it out? But if you just believe in yourself and you work hard, You've got a great team. It's all about the team. You know, we're proud of coming out for the 15 years. And a little note in the radio world, on Tuesday, one of my stations is AM 760. It's KGU. It's the very first radio station in the state. And now it's a sports station. But the story is on Tuesday, May 11th, it's its birthday. And the first radio station ever in the islands is KGU AM. And we make 99 years on Tuesday.
Now, weren't those, I remember some history of that, but correct me if I'm wrong, weren't they like broadcasting from the top of some hotel or what, way back in the day?
So the antennas have moved, you know, tons of times.
Yeah.
The originals were on the hotels because that was where the highest places were that were in the mountains. And that's why even the Country 97.5 tower, it's actually on top of Ala Moana Hotel.
Oh,
so
nice.
A lot of KITV4, their antenna currently is on Ala Moana and also on the Hilton. So the hotels, because they had the money, they wanted to partner locally, and it was high enough that it could help reach and put that up there. They were some of the original partners of the broadcasting antennas. Good question.
Yeah. No, lots of history with radio, because that's, for the longest time, that's how everybody got their news and up to dates, and families gathered around to hear those radio series and all of that. And so, Adrian, you had a question for Dita?
Yeah. So what are you guys going to do to celebrate the 100-year anniversary? Because what is it? On 99 is coming up. But so what's on the books for that?
Thank you. We just met about that. What we're thinking would be cool, and I'm open to any ideas. I was thinking that any other companies, we're going to research all the businesses in Hawaii that are also celebrating 100 years. We want to spotlight them. We want to partner with them. We want to tell their story about how they've survived all these years and the different inceptions and what they've had to do to grow in technology and transition. And so I think that's what we're going to do. We just want to tell the stories and help those businesses like us that have made it those 100 years here in the marketplace. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So there's the shout out. So if your business is turning 100 next year, yes.
Yeah. I think, what was it? I just looked it up, and everything's on Wikipedia. I hope that format survives, because I know it's a nonprofit and they've been having some challenges with funding. But 1922, first radio station. I think.
Isn't that crazy?
What was happening in 1922? First of all, it was the Roaring '20s. If you remember the movie and the book called The Great Gatsby, what was that? Leonardo DiCaprio. I played that guy.
Did you just call him DiCaprio?
No, he didn't poop in his pants. He's a good actor. But it was the Roaring '20s. We had just come out of World War I. So people were kind of bummed, lost a lot of loved ones, and it was a time of celebration. And then boom, 1929, we had the Great Depression. And then what was that? In the 50s, we became a state, statehood, and then all the other things happening, and then the Mauna Kea, and then here we are, fast forward to today. So
lots of stories to tell for sure.
Yeah. Well, here's a question for you.
And I would say radio is the best format for that, for telling the stories.
So as we're coming down to the last of it and we want to wrap it up, we're business owners. We've obviously been big fans of radio because we've had our real estate radio show coming on 8 years now. And Hawaii's only 1 hour real estate radio show.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And when it turns 100, we're going to be I think we're going to be sawdust by then, but we hope somebody
I think we should just do it 10. Every 10 years, we should do a celebration.
All right. So 2 more years and we'll send 10 years. Talk to the business owners out there. Answer the question. If I'm a business owner out of there, I'm trying to come out of this pandemic and boom, hit it hard. Why radio? Why radio advertising?
So I'm a fan of all media, as long as I feel like you can reach the demographics. I for the rodeo, I buy television, radio, and print. I'm not just a radio person, but why radio over the other two is reach and frequency. It's affordable. So like for a rodeo person where I'm just doing 4 shows, I only have X amount of dollars to spend. And TV is very expensive as well as print. If you do dailies, it's very expensive. Radio is very affordable, and you can reach within 2 weeks. If you advertise 4 commercials a day, you can reach our entire cume. And if you jump into promotions where you could get all 9 radio stations at once, you're reaching 265,000 people in 1 week for a fraction of the cost. And it's quick, because if you want a radio commercial, I can get you on the air, written, produced, everything within 24 hours if I had to do it in that short a turnaround. So I love radio. It's and in Hawaii, most people listen to it for their way in, for their way out, so radio is the heart and soul of music in Hawaii.
Well, we have top 10 traffic, and I don't mean top 10 in a good way. I mean top 10 in the worst way. We're in the top 10 in the United States for the worst traffic. I don't know where we're at on that scale, but that means our okoles are sitting in cars a lot. And I don't know about you, but I hope the people on the freeway with me is not reading the newspaper or watching TV, because then the traffic will be even worse. But we know that they're listening to radio to pass the time, and we've had a lot of people comment. And here's if you were to ask us what would be our advice to business owners, why radio, is because it's something that, like you said, low cost and frequency. And we've noticed with that, you've got to be committed to doing it. You can't go do it for 30 days and then, oh, that didn't work. You can't go, oh, I did that for 6 months. It didn't work.
It's the long play.
It's the long play. I don't think you can even go, oh, we did it for a year and it didn't work. I would say minimum 3 years, be committed to it. And here's why. In the first year, you're working it out, getting the message.
Laying the foundation.
In the second year, you are reaping the rewards of that. And then the third year, you're getting all the frequency from the first and the second. And it's finally hitting in the third year. What people do is they'll do it for a year, 6 months or a month. Oh, it didn't work.
It's called the compounding effect.
Yeah.
Of radio. And Dita is an amazing, talented lady who can help with making sure that you're on the right stations at the right times with the right message.
Yeah.
So
thank you. We want to match you up with the correct demographic so that we can help your cash registers ring. And never know when people in the buying cycle. I agree 100% with everything that you said. I would just add in, people are not always in a buying cycle. So that's why you have to be top of mind. They are ready to buy.
Yeah, unless you're selling a commodity that people use frequently on a monthly basis, like toilet paper or whatever. We do know that probably about 80% of the time, consumers are not thinking of you or your product or service. But when they do think they need to make that buying decision, we hope, because of radio, that we come top of mind. I know it's worked for us over and over. Adrian, do we hear this often? I heard you guys on the radio. I'm a big fan of your radio show. I heard you on the radio. Yes.
All the time.
All the time. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
You.
Any last question that we should have asked you that we did not ask you?
I just think that I would just like to add that, when it comes to the business that y'all are in, I mean, you're really involved in the largest purchase, and maybe it's only a one-time deal for your entire life. You really need to find someone you can trust, just like buying media. And I personally trust you both so very much. And I'm so proud of what you've done for the 8 years. I just encourage people to talk to others about y'all, because it's the most important. I think it's one of the most important investments that you'll ever make. So you guys are just the right people for the right time.
So here's it is for our viewers and listeners out there. If you call us, and Dita was the reason you called us, you can't say Dita told me to call you guys. You have to say Dita told me to call you all.
Y'all.
Y'all. And Tony Madrona says, he seconds what Dita just said.
Nice.
The best of the best. Team Lally.
So anyway, this is the end of our broadcast for today. We thank you so much for being on our Friday live. I want to say Friday night. It's not night. It's nighttime somewhere else, not in Hawaii.
Night somewhere, not here though. It's still afternoon. Happy Aloha Friday,
Friday live. Friday live. It's for real. So we didn't drop any F-bombs and we were really good during the whole show. So good job, everybody.
Yay.
We're gonna hit the end broadcast button. We do like KHO, and at the end of the